Yo, Tone, hola.
Joe, how are you?
Dandy, it's the better odds. It's 9/16, right? Tuesday.
Correctamundo.
Yeah, September 16th. Halfway through September already. That's kind
That's
of
right.
I know it's September because I can't breathe.
Oh, I know. It's terrible. Especially up here. There's nothing but trees and,
Yeah, it's like I
it's a
can't
rough time
shake
of
it.
year.
It's unbelievable. It's yeah, it's unpleasant, to be honest.
Yeah,
Well, I was
you'll
gonna
see.
say,
We'll go to the beach and see the general.
yeah, I mean,
Clear everything out.
I agree. That's fine with me.
Yeah, we'll have a good time. All right, so where are we? Let's see. Weekend recap. Saturday 4-1. Sunday a split with the Denver leverage penalty.
Yeah, I was just watching it. I mean, listen, by the letter of the law, it's a penalty, but it's like, yeah,
you know, we talked about it. I think the refs are getting far too involved with the outcomes of a lot of these games. Are they penalties? I guess. When's the last time you heard a leverage penalty? It's been a while. Certainly
yeah.
never on a field goal to decide a game. I've never heard of one.
There was one in the Super Bowl a couple years back.
Was there really?
Patriots. Yeah, the Patriots. What was the guy's name? Stud defensive player. Why can't I think of his name? But he literally just jumps over everybody, and he touched the guy on the way over. Called a penalty. He does it again, clean the next one. I have a vague recollection of that.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Some of these new rules and the other one we talked about was the Jaguar pass interference.
Well, here, let's
I,
do this.
I didn't see
I'm
it.
gonna
Put that one up.
here. So this is the leverage. Let's look at the leverage because this is credit to. I'll make sure I get this guy's name right. He took the time to do this. Should be up on the
92,
screen.
You see his hand is on that offensive lineman, on his number, basically. Watch as he uses that to push and go up over the top. This is absolutely a penalty. It is absolutely the correct call. Wish the broadcast covered it a little bit better, but yeah, this is the correct call.
Like this.
Again, could you argue, does this always get called in these?
I'll rewind a little bit.
But yeah, this is that to push and go up over the top.
It's like you see him right on 68. You can see his hand here.
Yeah,
right up here in the black circle,
basically.
And he does. He comes up. He launches off of him. There's no two ways about it.
Is absolutely a penalty. It is absolutely the correct call. Wish the broadcast covered it a little bit better, but yeah, this is the correct call. Again, could you argue, does this always get called in these situations? I think it usually does. Actually, gets called here, and because of that, this is
like you see it.
Yeah, I mean, all right. I don't know. For me, when's it going to stop? You can't play pass defense anymore. You can't.
I just want to be clear. That's courtesy of Jackson Kruger Sports on YouTube. So I want to make sure he took the time to do it.
Absolutely.
And, wanted to give him the credit for that.
It's a good job. Yeah.
I wasn't taking that. I wasn't taking my time to do it.
No. Can we bring the other one up? The Jaguar so-called pass interference. I think this is more egregious, actually. I mean, we had a bet on Denver, so it didn't make me real happy. But if you want to call it the letter of the law and it's a penalty, all right. Did it affect the kick? No, the kick wasn't. It was 10 yards to the right. It wasn't even close.
I mean, so here it is. I mean, is he face guard him? Yeah, I don't. Maybe touches his arm, but he gets his head around at the ball.
Yeah,
I just don't see how you call that a penalty.
I think that's really good defense, in my opinion.
Well, I think they've legislated defense out of the game, so
yeah, they want as many points as possible.
Yeah, that's the issue. A friend of ours, he made a great comment. He was like, "It's the quantitative easing of points." It's pretty good. I mean, I can't argue.
It is good. That is good. Yeah, it's just, again, I don't mind penalty calls, but don't let them be the deciding factor of a game. They let far worse go on every play. There's holding on every play in an
Yeah.
NFL game. Every play.
Well, the Travis Hunter, I mean, he think of what you may of the guy, but well, that's pretty good defense. It's always right. Oh, he didn't get his head around. He didn't get his head around. Well, he gets his head around. Are they touching the whole time? Yeah, both ways. And he gets his head around. He makes a play on the ball. I just don't see it as a penalty. I think it's a pretty egregious, miscarriage of justice, to overstate it.
I do too. It's, if you want to call it, I guess if you call it early in the game, the rule of thumb is you got to call it all game, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think the refs should decide the outcome of a game. Now, if he drags him down, if he's got him by the shirt, or he's got his arm barred where he can't make a catch, fine. But just for playing pass defense, and there's hand fighting on every pass play, just about. Certainly on every deep ball. If you called every penalty between the holding on a run, the holding on pass protection, the holding on a run play, we'd be here. The games would take 5 hours. You'd never get to play the whole game. I mean, it would be ridiculous. So I think the refs, in my opinion, are getting too involved in the outcome of games. I don't like to see that. I don't like to see it. And let's face it, all these games, for the most part, most NFL games come down to the last possession or 2 possessions. So if they're going to affect a team's possession, especially a team that's driving either to win the game or to tie the game, I think they got to knock some of that shit off. It's just too much. It's too much. This is a contact sport, by the way. It used to be.
Yeah, that play happened with like 1:40 left in the game. Obviously, a huge factor. You know what always drove me crazy and still does, and this is why I don't watch much NBA, where you'd have the baseline official guy driving whatever, and the trail official 30 feet away makes the call, and you're like, well, how could you make this call?
Yeah.
You're 30 feet away. There's a guy standing right there. He's watched the guy. I think he would have called foul if he saw a foul. And it just gets so frustrating to watch where, it makes it tough. It makes it really tough, especially when you have a monetary interest. Then you can really start letting the conspiracy theories roll in your
it's
head.
natural. The NBA example reminds me of the Angel Hernandez compilation videos where he'd call the play one way, they'd go to video review, and the call would be reversed almost every time. So, I mean, this is not as bad as that, but it's just, it makes, in my opinion, it makes the NFL less enjoyable. They gotta let guys play a little bit and just eliminate some of these friggin' penalties. We'd be there all day if they called every penalty. So that's just my 2 cents.
No, I agree. I watched the end of the Eagles game, and that game wasn't that close. It was a very boring football game, but I watched it with my brother. But at the end of the game, I don't remember who the penalty was on, but defensive player, Eagle, he's rushing Mahomes. His hands are up, Gage trying to knock a pass down, ultimately works his way back towards Mahomes. Mahomes steps up, and as he's engaged with the blocker, his hand, and they're both going down, his hand kind of grazes across Mahomes, and they call roughing the passer. I'm like, okay, it ain't roughing the passer. Let's be clear. Is it a penalty by this whatever? I guess, but man, it just makes it so hard to watch. I get the idea. I get the intent behind the rule. It's just like many laws. I get the intent, but a lot of times you don't realize how much you're really affecting the consumer. And we're the reason these guys get paid. We're the reason that, that all this industry is as big as it is.
100%. Yeah, I think the roughing the passer, if it's an intentional act, or if you can't control yourself and you're rushing and you get your hands in the face, fine. If you give him a smack, like not as dramatic as the giant linebacker did the other day in town, that's a bit much. I mean, that's assault.
I haven't seen anything like that. It was
you
like
do that on the street, you get locked up for assault. So there's a big difference between that and what they're calling, roughing the passer. Should you be able to, throw him on the ground, land on top of him? No, because you could break a guy's ribs. 300-pound guy laying, falling on top of these 200-pound quarterbacks doesn't end well. The quarterback's not going to win that battle. So, all right. Anyway, what about we'll look at a little college. We'll just run down. Go ahead.
Before we even get to the card, I mean, like I think you've buried the lead. Real nice Saturday just a couple days ago.
Yeah. No, Saturday was real good. 4-1. I'll take that every week. It was a good day.
Yeah.
And like as I mentioned, Sunday the split. Last night we had the Bucks plus 2.5, plus 3 minus 20. I took a little of. So yeah, it's been good. I have no complaints. This week, well, you want to run down last week a little bit? See any surprises or?
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look.
You mean in general?
Yeah, just a general. I'm just going to skim down the card. Ohio State, nothing there. Go ahead.
I thought there were some surprises last week for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking
in college
for.
Football. I'm kind of just scrolling through. Arizona, Kansas State. Kansas State apparently stinks. Avery Johnson's got real problems.
Yeah.
The biggest, I wouldn't say it's a surprise, but the biggest, I woke up on Saturday morning to look at the UCLA score. Holy, they lost by 25 to New Mexico.
Big problem.
No disrespect to New Mexico, but you were a 14.5-point favorite at home in a Rose Bowl that was apparently empty.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly on the broadcast, you could hear single individuals on the television broadcast.
It looked like 2,000-3,000 people were there. Maybe.
Maybe.
I thought the game was over already. Was in game. That sparse crowd. Big problems there.
I think Miami looked really good. South Florida, we didn't know how good Florida is. Florida went to LSU, lost pretty handily. I think the quarterback turned it over through 5 picks. So a surprise. Texas, Notre Dame, that was a surprise in the sense that I didn't expect 81 points. I can tell you that.
No, I gave everybody. I told everybody that A&M plus 6.5 was the bet. I did say, I'd lay 3 with Georgia, no more. They won by 3. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it is what it is. There's some I can give you. Let me just see if there's anything. What about with Georgia Tech? We had plus
Georgia Tech
3.5, 3.5.
Clemson, the quarterback Haynes King.
It's a good quarterback.
He can stay healthy.
He's a good player,
He's going to be good. Yeah. The Vanderbilt. How about the Pavia?
It's a good team too. Better than I thought.
Way better than I thought. Yeah. I thought they'd give them a game. I wasn't necessarily in love with South Carolina, but South Carolina's certainly a bit of an egg. They got disappointing.
Yeah, that's a bad loss for them. Now, Pavia was he San Diego State?
What do you mean?
Did he play
the Vanderbilt quarterback? Oh, did he transfer? I don't know. He may have. I'd hate to tell you
he did
one thing or another.
At least once. I thought it was San. I could be wrong. Yeah, I remember him with another team last year. I don't know if it was San Diego State sticks in my head. Probably wrong, but Haynes King's a good player. 2028 to 11.
He was at New Mexico.
New Mexico. Okay, New Mexico State. Yeah. All right. Oklahoma doing what they should do to Temple.
Agreed.
Ark State, Iowa State. I thought Iowa State. I know that it's on the road, but they're not playing at Penn State. They should handle that team a lot easier than that, in my opinion.
I'm not sure how good Iowa State is. I mean, I knew they were good
defensively, but I thought they were better defensively, I should say. Who are they playing? They're playing. The heck are they playing this week? I believe they're home.
Iowa State.
I'm looking on this screen.
Arizona.
Okay.
Arizona.
At Iowa State, correct?
Yes.
All right. Let me find it and see what the number is. What time is that game, Joe?
Oh man, you're killing me, bro.
I know.
I clicked
Only
off
so,
it.
it's only certain things I could do.
I'm trying to. I just clicked through, so
This
I
is
don't have
not
the
one of
answer
them.
for you.
I can't even find the game. Don't feel bad.
47-7, the Iowa Hawkeyes over the UMass Minutemen.
Yeah.
UMass. I'd like to see UMass play on a neutral site. UCLA.
Interesting. Then you'd really find out how good, how bad, or
I'm telling you, it's like
we know UMass is bad, but I don't know that UCLA. Well, they beat them, but by how? Maybe by a touchdown, 10 points, maybe. I just
I
think
mean
that
that
they're
to
too
me.
big.
Yeah, I mean, that was more of a joke, but I mean,
No,
that was the surprises of the week. I mean, some of them weren't even surprises, but still a little like, okay, cool. You know, it's remember the Denny Green. They are who they thought we are. They are who we thought they were.
yeah.
You know, and that's some of those teams. Like, okay, Florida this week at Miami. I don't know what they're going to have to do to keep that game close.
Yeah, they're gonna have to play their best game. Probably all that they'll play all season to beat that team, or to even keep it close.
Yeah,
Miami's the real
no,
deal.
yeah, I
And
would agree.
you throw in rivalry game. I don't think it's going to matter. I think the talent level is far greater on the Miami side, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, good games this week. Texas Tech and Utah. It should be a good game.
Can't wait.
I have a bet on that. I'm going to give that out. I have one I will give you. You can keep an eye on live. The number's gone, but yesterday we bet, or I think it was yesterday, yeah. Temple and Georgia Tech under 53.5. It's down to 51, 51.5. You need over 52. You need 52.5 to bet an under. 52 at the bare minimum to go under on that. Don't get involved betting under 51. Yeah, it may win, but number wise, you're shooting yourself in the foot. The value's gone there. Georgia Tech 23 over Temple. Maybe a bit high, but I don't know that Temple could play with them. I don't think they have the talent.
No, I thought that number last week against Oklahoma was, I think it was 23.5. I could be wrong. Ish.
Yeah, ish, yeah.
I maybe Temple learned a little bit of something just to say, wow, like that was a good team. I think Oklahoma's pretty good. I guess, obviously we're still early. We'll find out more, but I'd be curious if Temple learned anything from last week.
I was looking at Oklahoma State, Tulsa. I mean, Tulsa's not in their league, but I don't know if this Oklahoma State team should be laying 12.5 to anybody right now.
Well, the last time you said that was regarding UCLA last week. So
yeah, I mean, they just haven't shown me anything thus far that would warrant laying 12.5 points. Is Tulsa any good? They're undersized. They certainly shouldn't have the talent level that Oak State has, but I have to see more from them. I'm not going to bet it, but I need to see a lot more of Oak State before I
they lost it. Yeah, they lost it. They lost the Navy by 3 touchdowns. They beat Abilene Christian as they should by 4 touchdowns, and they lost by a touchdown to New Mexico State.
Yeah, so we'll see. There's not very. The one game maybe this Iowa Rutgers game, 45.5. I didn't bet it. I would lean under there. If I had to make a bet. Light juice, 13 cents. There may be something there. It opened at circa 43. They opened. They tend to open, take an early shot. And I talked about price discovery before. That's what that is. The open at the general open was 45.5. It has here. So there's not much going on. I would lean under there if I had to make a bet. Rice and Charlotte, I don't know. I have no interest in the game.
0.
Certainly not a 2.5. At 4.5, where it got bet, they bet Charlotte a little bit. Makes sense, but at 2.5, no, nothing. total 44.5. No, they're betting the over, but it's I don't like either team. It's not a game I would bet. Put it that way. Let's see if there's anything else here. Central Florida and North Carolina. Has North Carolina learned anything? Can Belichick get them to play at a high? They're going to need to play at a higher level. And I don't think Central Florida's any great shakes, but they got bet at 3, up to 6.5. If it was 7, of course, I'd be on the dog. I'd take a shot at North Carolina there. At that point, rather. We talked about Miami, Florida, and Florida.
Yeah, we talked about
a game.
it.
It's not really a game that interests me. But plus 7.5, I'd more than likely take a little shot on Florida, just from a number perspective. Miami's certainly the better team. Florida's another team that hasn't shown anything this year so far. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do with that. Let's see what Indiana, Illinois. It should be a pretty decent game.
I think so. I think so.
Big Ten, right, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Florida State and Kent. I'll give you one more. We bet Kent State, Florida State under 56.5. There's still a few 56s around. 57 at 411, 56 at Circa, 6.5 the Open, 56 at Low Vig, and I would assume Bet Online if I can find it on here. Let's see.
And I'm tripling through my notes here. I feel like I might like GRP in the sense I just write this shit down and I don't know where the fuck I put it.
I feel so bad for George. He's not a bad guy, but he's in way over his head. 0-5 is not the way I think he thought he'd start this little business venture of his, but
yeah, I would hope not.
Neither here nor there. Yeah, public's on the over, of course. All on the over, and the number's done nothing but go down. So that's what I bet with that. We're on under 56.5. I think you'll see the same type of reaction eventually as with the Georgia Tech Temple total. I think it'll dip below. I think the 56s will disappear. Certainly the 56.5s will disappear in another day or so, I would assume. If not by Friday, they'll be gone. So if you want to bet it now. Don't wait. It's just something that we bet on Monday. We took a shot. Number seemed a little high. It was above a key number. And that's all I need sometimes to make a bet. What else? Maryland, Wisconsin. I didn't look at it. The number seems a little high to me. 10.5.
Yeah, and it went from 8.5 to 10.5, and I thought it was high as well. It's just higher, so.
Yeah, so Circa opened at 7. Now you're getting up to 2 touchdowns. I don't think they're 2 touchdowns better than Maryland. It's a wait and see. Maybe it goes to, I don't know, not a big deal, but 12. We'll look at the 13 now. No. If it did, I know the bet I'd be making for sure. I'd go Maryland at plus 13 for sure. Tennessee and UAB. Tennessee 35 open at Circa, 38 everywhere else, up to 39.5, 40 at Pinnacle. I think they could name the score here. UAB's no good. They haven't been good in a long time. The total should tell you everything you need to know. 69.5. If you don't think UAB's any good, and they're not, then you'd lay the 39.5 with Tennessee. Is UAB going to put up 21 points?
No.
No, they're not. If they do, you could call me a liar, but I don't see it.
No, I mean,
shocked.
If they got the 13, that'd be a win, a moral victory win for the Blazers.
This is like a 59-10 game, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bit. Would I rather lay 35? But you got to be. You got to be at circa. And you got to be there. They opened 35 at 143 on the 14th, and 143.53, and at 144.01, it was up to 38. So that's what you call price discovery. That's it in a nutshell. That's how it works. But now they got, they took probably one max bet and got to 38. They left it there for a couple hours, 3, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. Went to 39. And now up to 40.5, now back to 39.5. So now they know where the number should be. That's how bookmakers are supposed to operate. That's high-level bookmaking by Benson and the crew. They're very good, very knowledgeable guys. They know exactly what they're doing. And they're willing to get, you're not going to line up and make max bets there, but they'll take one, maybe two, and they move the number, and that's bookmaking. This is not rocket science. That's the way it should be done. That's the proper way to do it.
So
go ahead.
I'll say moving down the card, like there's a few games. I'm hoping that your friend in Nebraska might want to chime in. I'm very curious to watch Michigan at Nebraska. See if Nebraska they're a 2.5 point, almost 3 point home dog. I don't know. I kind of like what Nebraska's done thus far. They've done what they're supposed to do, which is says more than a lot of teams thus far this year.
Yeah, I think this number tells me more about Nebraska than Michigan, in that they opened 1.5, they went to 2.5. It's a meaningless number. This is public money for sure. If it ever went to 3, I'd automatically snap Nebraska right away.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to my friend about Nebraska yet, but I will. And he's a diehard Nebraska fan, college hoops, college football. He's well versed in coaching, and the whole team knows every player. And he told me they were going to be good this year. I'm like,
Yeah, it looks like it.
He said, no, they're going to be real good this year. They have a quarterback for first time in a while. And they're a veteran team. It's a good team. So I'll talk to him in the next day or so. Maybe I'll call him tomorrow and see what I could get on that. We'll put it up on Twitter. If you like hanging out, subscribe, turn the notifications on, and you'll know when the show goes live next time in the future, rather. And join us, hang out. We'll have some fun. We'll do it Thursday. We'll do a pregame, right?
Yes.
We'll do a little pregame.
Do the pregame for the football, for the NFL game. Again, we just talked about Rice and Charlotte. Meh. To me, Friday, a couple games maybe we're talking about. Just I am interested a little bit in Friday night. I'm not going to lie. And then Saturday, and what we've done is in the afternoon watch a little bit together, get some live bets. I think your initial take on Tulsa, I tend to agree with. 13.5 seems like a bit much for a really lousy Oklahoma State team. And I'm kind of, we're in New Jersey. I kind of want to see. I wouldn't mind. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if Rutgers was any good.
No, I think they have a decent team. I haven't seen them play in a while, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but I'd be lying if I said I did.
When we see the general, he knows all about all the local teams. He'll be able to enlighten us on what they do well and what they don't. So what is that, Friday night, that game, Joe? Rutgers?
Yes. Yep.
I'll have to shoot him I'll shoot him an email because the general does not answer his phone.
Okay.
He just doesn't.
My ringer has been off for 3 years.
If he's got to make a call, he makes it. If he'll look at the phone. I don't know. He bought a new laptop, so we're progressing in the right direction. We're moving. The general's headed in the right direction. He said he'd come on though one day. We'll set something up when we go down there. Maybe we'll do something live when we go down there.
That'd be fun. We could do that.
Yeah. So Thursday NFL, Miami and Buffalo.
What's the number?
It's open 12.5 at Circa. Open 9.5 everywhere else. So Circa don't sleep at the wheel too often. 9.5, 23 opened everywhere else. It's up to 13 at Pinnacle. This is all one-way money, and rightfully so. I'd be shocked if Miami could stay within 2 touchdowns of this team. They played okay last week. They played okay. Still too many mistakes. No defense, which is going to be a big problem against this Buffalo team. If you watch them, they chewed up the Jets and spit them out, as they should. It's a terrible football team. But Miami's going to have to play the game of the century to beat this team. But even hanging close, I think. If it gets to 14, there'll be money come back. There'll be buyback on the Dolphins. I don't see it. I hate to say it because I'm not going to bet the game. I may bet something, but I'm not laying 13 points. But if you want to bet it for a little action, there's only one way to bet this game as far as I'm concerned. At the moment, I might find some derivatives to bet, maybe a first half total. We'll see. I didn't get there yet. Plenty to do with college. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't look at the Sunday card yet, truth be told. I'm going to be down south on Sunday. Will I bet on the NFL? Maybe, if I see something. It's not going to be the at the forefront of my schedule, that's for sure. Saturday will be good. We'll win Saturday. And then Sunday, it's maybe a little relaxation. I may stay down for a couple days, enjoy the nice weather. I'm not going to be doing anything till Wednesday or Thursday on the college card next week anyway. So I don't need to stay up here. I don't like it up here. And, I need to get some. I don't. I just don't.
Yeah, I get it.
It served its purpose back in the day, but now those days are over. So for me, I don't need to be. I mean, I have to, I have responsibilities here, but somebody else is going to pick up the ball for a couple of days so Uncle Tony could go have some peace for a change. We'll see how that works out.
Well, it'll be another profitable week, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm just looking further down the college card. Man, I sent you what I call my preliminary card, like Sunday night.
Right.
There was a lot of games. You said, wow. And I was like, yeah, but I got to tell you, as I look further and further, there's so many things that interest me this week where you had a team that you're going to find out a little bit this week. I'm not saying they're necessarily betting opportunities, but I think you're really going to find out a lot about a big handful of these college football teams. James Madison. Is Liberty really this bad? Notre Dame, Purdue, Nebraska that we mentioned earlier. NC State, Duke. I find that very interesting. The South Carolina bounce back at Missouri. Missouri looks really good. 11.5 point favorite. I mean, that's just add that to the list of games that I find really interesting because, again, if it's not a betting opportunity today, you can glean something as we move forward. You mentioned Illinois, Indiana. Illinois had a good win at Duke. Indiana, I can't wait to watch this. That's at 7:30.
That's a good game. Yeah.
You got Arizona State, Baylor. BYU goes out to East Carolina. There's a bunch here that I'm looking forward to, as I've said ad nauseum.
Yeah, I mean, I used to bet a ton of games. I'm trying to limit my cards now. I mean, I used to bet 30, 40 games on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Easy. I can't do it anymore because, I don't have the manpower for one thing. I try to zero in on certain things that I spot right away, see what the market thinks about them, try to limit the card as much. I'm not saying, when it's 5 to 7 games, something like that, I like to bet. That's my sweet spot at the moment. Will that change in college basketball?
Oh yeah.
If the past is any,
My
example.
college basketball card sometimes. You know what the funny thing about college basketball is, and it just is Sunday through Friday, I'd feel really good about things. I'd have my games, I pick my spots. Saturday, too often, I just get overwhelmed by the card. I don't see things as clearly. I got 12 bets and I went from having, I don't know, I'm making up the numbers, but 8-3 during the week to, 4-6 on a Saturday just because I spread myself too thin.
Yeah. In my opinion, if you're going to bet, call it top down, call it whatever you want, a large slab of games, whatever you want to call it, you got to have a big bankroll, first of all, and you got to be consistent. So you got to bet every weak spot you find. And I know that approach will win over time, but your percentage will be lower if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't matter how many games you bet. In that scenario, top down, your win percentage will be lower, but you'll be able to, I don't want to say guarantee, you will win over time just by getting the best number.
Yeah.
If you, I'm not saying set a problem, I got to bet 5 games this week, I have to bet 7 games this week.
Sure.
I'm not saying that. But if you do, and you're consistent with, say, 5 to 7 games, 3 to 5 games, whatever you decide, I think you'll be more focused on finding soft spots in the line on a smaller scale, and your win percentage will conversely go up. That's my opinion. So far, it's worked. I used to bet, tons of games, and that's just pre-flopped and halftime bets, and it's just if you have 5 or 6 guys working with you, then that's fine. You could do that. But a one-man army, it just doesn't work for me anymore. So I try and find, the best spots I can early, and then watch the market, see if I get agreement. If I do, and it's still above or at a key number that I look to bet, then I'll make a bet. That's the way I'm operating now. College basketball, it's going to be harder to find, 130 games to find 5 or 7 games that I like. Not easy. But let's get through college football first, and then we'll worry about college basketball in another.
No, I'm with you, but I think to that point, in terms of at least college basketball, and I'm using the example I laid out with Monday through Friday or Sunday through Friday and then Saturday, that, with the approach that you kind of described, the next week, the next 2 weeks, the next month, fewer things had fallen through the cracks earlier. So then you can apply stuff that you actually learned, things that worked, things that worked, right? But like to see those angles, to see that market, to get an understanding of it. When you're just out there all over the place, man, a lot of information that should have punched you right in the face, you don't take advantage of, and then you only recognize it in hindsight, doing you zero good.
Yeah, and that's a good point. One game, let's just take 1 week, for example, in any sport, will build into the next game. So week 1 of the NFL is a crapshoot. It's very hard to win. But you'll see certain things, maybe a weakness that a team has. Maybe they're experiencing injuries at key positions.
Oops.
You need to know when those injured players come back, well, what is that worth on the line? you need to adjust moving forward. But you need to know what happened. When I say the past, I don't mean the distant past. I mean last week,
No, of course,
last game, because you may spot something where a bookmaker hasn't adjusted the number properly. Maybe it was I can't think of a great example, but maybe it was a team that should have blown somebody out, a lesser opponent that was laying, let's say 21, a team that you thought was 28 points better than their opponent week one, and they won by 14. Well, that don't mean that they stink. It may mean that they were holding parts of the playbook back. It may mean they had players out at key positions. It may mean that their opponent was more interested in playing over their heads than the favorite was in blowing a team out. There's a lot that goes into it. Now, the next week, let's say they're playing, I don't know, the same type of opponent, and instead of 21, now the line's down to 17 and a half. Well, you can't say, well, they couldn't cover 21 last week. How are they going to cover 17 and a half? There's adjustments made from week to week. Certainly more so in the NFL than college. But college's adjustments, in another 3 weeks, the teams are going to look completely different. Good teams. Then you'll know who the real bad teams are.
Yeah, I I think that's a great point. The week 7 is, and as you get up closer to obviously the end of the season, Thanksgiving, there are some surprises, but man, if you haven't been paying attention,
you're lost.
You might as well just close your eyes, and it's just like you're back at week 1. Because you just don't know.
Exactly.
There's a lot to learn every day. Yeah, you're learning something. At least you should be in this game or any other.
Yeah, financial market's no different. You got to owe it. That's why it's very hard to do part time. I could never do this part time. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I mean, it's very, very difficult because how are you going to split? How are you going to split yourself in half? This is all I do. I don't do anything else. So it's 7 a.m. till sometimes midnight on game days. It's a lot of time. A lot of time you got to put into this shit to get it right. And anyway, that's my spiel for today.
Yeah, well,
if you want to win without any stress, go to TonyCSports.com.
It's just easy so easy. It's even easier, Tone. You go in there. It's $99 for the month, which is like, let's face it, pretty cheap because the vast majority of people are. Are you doing this if you bet $5 a game? No. But if you're betting 25, if you're betting 50, you're betting 100.
You definitely earn for sure.
Oh, it's like it's a no-brainer. Total zero brainer.
I said it numerous times, and I'll say it again. If I could find somebody that can hit the percentages and win like I do, I'll go lay on a fucking beach and retire and just bet what they send me and pay them whatever they want, by the way. That's real shit. That's what I mean,
that's kind of what a lot of people have the opportunity to do here with you / us. I like to keep you on the straight and narrow, Tone. Reel you back in when you're getting a little crazy. Who knows what else is going to come up. But we went through a handful of the college games again. Thursday night, we'll do a little pregame of the NFL. We'll talk about a lot of the college stuff, a little bit more in depth. Friday, we always come back and do a little something, go live, have a little fun. Saturday, in the late afternoon, at least Eastern time, probably 4 o'clock for the later kickoffs, we're going to go live. We're going to watch some of them. And there's a lot to watch. Hopefully we've already cashed a bunch of the early games, and we can kind of go in and free roll them in the evening to see if we want to take a chance on some stuff, talk about the NFL.
No, I agree. I haven't gotten deep into this card yet, Saturday card. I will tomorrow. I'll start getting into it with more earnest, if you will. I gave you one of the bets we made a few bets. I gave you both bets that we made, actually. Those are the only two I bet for Saturday. One I kept in my pocket, but more shall be revealed in the following days. Stay tuned. Stop by Thursday. We'll do the pregame for the NFL. break that down. I mean, I touched on it briefly, but I haven't looked at the injuries yet as of yet. I will. I'm not worried about making a bet early if I decide to bet Buffalo. I'm not worried about if it goes from 12 to 13. The college, I don't think there's going to be anything to talk about Thursday that we haven't covered already. I don't like the card. The only thing, I guess, Friday is the Rutgers game. I'd lean under. I mentioned that already. That's pretty much it. Joe, you got anything?
No, I mean, I have a big college football card that I sent you that
Yes, you do.
So far so good. Everything's seeming kind of how I want. I did change my mind on a couple of things I've thought better of, so I'm looking to see how that continues to go. But yeah, I want to talk about some of those when we get into it on Thursday/Friday.
Cool.
And who knows, we're gonna have some fun stuff.
Absolutely.
All right.